Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris over at Beck Law Office. I just wanted to hop online and do a little bit of a live video. It's been a bit since we've done a live video and talk about if your event, such as a wedding or a graduation or something that you had planned, has gotten canceled or affected by the coronavirus, COVID-19. I kind of wanted to let you know a little bit about what your rights are as far as all that goes. We're starting to see more and more people that's had to cancel their weddings or something because of governor's orders. And so we wanted to talk to you a little bit about what your options are. Um, and so the first thing you'd have to do is take a look at your contract. If you booked a wedding reception or a wedding itself, and it was during that time period where everything was shut down, and the governor of Ohio or other states said you weren't able to have those events or had to greatly reduce the number of people that could attend those events. Start by looking at the contract. There's kind of two ways that that'll look. If the contract doesn't say one way or the other, then that certainly gives you a little bit more leeway. But some of the contracts we've been reviewing lately, they have something called a force majeure clause, so a major force clause. And what that is if the venue or if the event is impacted by, say, a tornado, or the venue would catch fire and not able to honor their contract because it's not no longer in existence, what that would look like. And that is certainly, I think, going to be applied to this governor shutdown as far as things go. And it often even includes like an act of war or terror. Um, and so what we're finding is that these contracts that say, potential bride is set to have a wedding in a reception at local golf course or facility, and that they're not able to do that. And so the facility notifies them because of COVID-19, we're unable to honor their contract or to allow you to host that event. And so, what does that look like as terms of refunds and the right to get money back? And so that would go back to that contract. So if you look at the contract, and if the facility canceled that event, so the one we looked at recently was that the facility notified the bride that she was not able to have the event because they were not going to be open due to COVID-19. So what that bride then said, okay, so what does that mean? Well, it's kind of going to come down to one of two things: is do they want you to um, just pick a new date? Are you willing to move your event to a different date that is maybe a little bit less impacted by the COVID-19? Or are they canceling it and you're just going to go forward and have the wedding, somewhere else or something along those lines? And so what we're finding is there's some of these facilities that are not willing to do the refunds. Well, I believe that if you look at the contract and it's clear that they canceled the event because they weren't able to host it, even though they've offered you an additional date or a different date of your choosing, you may still be eligible to get that refund because they did not honor that contract. That force majeure clause canceled that contract when they opted to use that provision to not honor your date. And so what you could do is you can, I'd say have a lawyer send a letter or try to get them to refund it and work with them. There certainly may be some things like non-refundable deposits, but if the facility themselves use that force majeure clause, then they didn't honor that contract, so they may be in breach of that contract, and so you may be eligible to get that refunded as well. Um, and I think most facilities are going to want to try to give that money back. A lot of the facilities, they may not have that money still. They may have used it, and we're constantly revolving around upcoming events to pay payroll, pay mortgages, and rent, and all of that. And so, what you can do is ask for the refund. And if they say no, then you've got to go the next step of potentially having a lawyer draft a letter to send to them to say, hey, based on this part of the contract, we believe they're entitled to a full refund or a partial refund. And then what happens next is if they do not refund that money, then you might be in a position where you have to file a civil lawsuit for breach of contract and for unjust enrichment to get that money back. Unjust enrichment means they got money for something that they did not do. And so you'd be able to try to get that back plus attorney's fees. And hopefully that would be successful and get you that money back, because that's, a lot of these weddings are pretty expensive. And it's unfortunate that people have had to move dates and do whatever they've had to do because of COVID-19. And so we kind of wanted to just give you those options and let you know kind of what that is. I reviewed the Ticketmaster um, guidelines because we've got a couple concerts that we're supposed to go to this year, and luckily they've not been canceled yet. But Ticketmaster is, if the event is canceled, they're trying to issue full refunds, and then if it is rescheduled, then then you'd be rescheduled into that date, and then if you're not able to go to that new rescheduled date, then it'd be up to whether uh, the band or the artist has allowed to the resale of tickets, and Ticketmaster is allowing more and more of reselling of those tickets, and it even includes when they do their refund, it looks like they're refunding the full fee, including any processing fees as well, for canceled events now, rescheduled events, because they're still offering it to you. But you may have planned to go to see a cool concert on a certain day and then not available the next time because you're on vacation or hopefully somewhere other than being locked in our houses. And so we'd like to, we'll keep kind of gauging what's going on with all that. But if you had an event such as a wedding that got canceled because of all this, and you are looking at a way to try to get a refund, we'd be happy to try to help you out. You can give us a call. Our address and phone number, our web address and our phone number is at the top of the screen here. And you can follow us on Facebook at Beck Law Office. And we hope that everybody's staying healthy, safe, and sane. And hopefully, we're able to get things back to normal very quickly. And if you did have a wedding that got canceled, we're sorry to hear that, and hope that you can get married soon and have that wedding you've always dreamed of, or other events as well. So, again, we hope everybody stays healthy. Have a good day.